This is absolutely stunning. This looks photorealistic. Video games and films have always crossed paths. Whether it's a film made into a video game or a video game made into a film, there's the good, like Captain America Super Soldier, or the always fantastic GoldenEye 64. And whether it's a film or a video game, I bet everybody enjoys one of those versions of the Resident Evil franchise. I know I love the films, they're stupid, ridiculous, and utter nonsense, but I love them for it. Then you have the other end of the spectrum, the bad and the awful, of which there are many, many more examples than good. And out of those many, I'm gonna choose this one.
Tear gas and crying is just so unprofessional.
A bad game for a bad film. Blech. If I said to you a film was being made into a video game, or a game was being made into a film, I doubt your first thought would be positive. My first thought would be the Max Payne travesty of a film that came out starring Mark Wahlberg. But every now and again, a film studio and a game studio come together in perfect harmony, and they get it just right. Knights of the Old Republic, Lord of the Rings Return of the King, Dead Space Downfall, Spider-Man 2 the game, The Warriors, The Path of Neo, Hitman Agent 47, and controversially, Peter Jackson's King Kong. But that rare moment where it all goes right is happening again. Not a game based on a film this time, but a film studio taking on a video game. A VR video game no less, and that game is called Hubris. Oh my god! Are you seeing this? Hubris is being developed by a company by the name of Cyborn. How can this company produce such high quality visuals and VR? Well, they're used to making animated movies like Dragon Rider or Fire Drake the Silver Dragon, as it's known on Netflix. You can go check that out. So they're used to a high level of storytelling and visuals. I spoke to the developers, and people at the company fell in love with VR the first time they tried it. They were absolutely hooked on VR and knew they had to do something with it. The game being called Hubris, of course, leads me to say, welcome members of the ever-growing VR Horde. My name is Rex, this is Eyes on VR. There's an Instagram, a Discord, and a Patreon. Come join in the fun, links are in the description. So what you're seeing right now is the demo for Hubris, which unfortunately is a closed demo, so you can't just go and find it anywhere and play it right now. After playing it, I am just beyond impressed, and Cyborn's animation experience and high level of facilities really shows. I mean, look at this! That facial capture is just gorgeous and so highly detailed. And I wanted to get this out of the way because I just couldn't hold it in anymore. I was so impressed by it, and I will be talking about these amazing visuals later, but this I just had to say first off. So let's talk story. You start by doing a little tutorial, learning the controls, jumping, climbing, swimming, and shooting. You then take your ship, head to a planet with your colleague Lucia, things go bad, and you end up crash landing. Coming out of that ship is something though, I will tell you that.
Good. Now follow me outside.
Can do. Oh my... wow. I mean... oh my god! Are you seeing this? Look, the water, it reacts to me! The demo is very linear. You explore while learning about the planet. You find a harpoon gun-ish, but not really. It's like a harpoon laser, which is really handy because all these octopuses are not friendly.
Avoid swimming in the water as much as possible. I tried blasting these squids, but my energy blasters seem to have no effect on these species.
Because the squids are not friendly. It's a beautiful scene underwater with your shots lighting up the surroundings as it goes towards its target. Lucia will pilot a drone around and communicate with you via comms as you search around the planet for an exploration team that came ahead of you. Eventually you get to enter a random ship after killing a bunch of these bugs that, well, these look like the Flood from Halo, right? It's not just me. Let me know in the comments. Now at this point you've been climbing and swimming a fair bit and the movement is definitely of note. It's absolutely fantastic. It's smooth, easy and intuitive. Okay, this is kind of... Oh, I get it. Wow. See, if I actually air swim properly, spreading my arms all the way out to the side, it gives me this massive speed boost. Wow, that feels really real. This is what always put me off about No Man's Sky. VR or not, it's just busy work and it's got less than stellar gameplay mechanics. And I know it's apples and oranges on the size of the game and flying around, but my point is even a game with an astonishing amount of planets to explore and a full universe to fly through, that is more boring than the Hubris demo I just played, even if it is in VR. But this demo had me wanting to climb and swim and explore everything that I could. It's just optimized so well for gameplay. And yes, I know No Man's Sky wasn't originally VR and all of that stuff, but my point still stands here. It's not about the size of the game, it's about the quality. That's slightly dodgy. And speaking of optimization, this footage you're seeing was filmed on my GTX 1060, so I can only imagine the shocking visuals that will be available on a more powerful machine. From the dynamic lighting to the high detail on the guns and general textures, the environment here is a feast for the eyes. Although there's this. But what does this even make? Huh. Okay, it looks... What is this, a sex toy or what? Even in your ship in the beginning, the room you're just moving around in is absolutely gorgeous, and I can't deny that view. Highly detailed, and if you look at these clips and pictures, you can see there's plenty more of that being worked on right now. Unfortunately, once you've entered that random ship, the demo ends, and I was heartbroken. It lasted about 40 minutes, and that's a mix of me stopping to go, whoa, and racing through to see what's next. If you want to see the exact opposite of a well-polished game produced by people with access to high-quality equipment and facilities, check out my look at Medal of Honor Above and Beyond. Apparently, it's quite controversial to say a game isn't great and the best thing ever. The full game of Hubris is slated for a 2022 release on Oculus, Steam, and PlayStation VR, so if you have a VR headset, doesn't matter where you play, you'll be fine. If you want a better idea of what Hubris is, it's described as a VR action-adventure game set in a unique and intriguing Hubris Sci-Fi Universe. As a player, you take on the role of a recruit in training to become an agent of the mighty and feared Order-Of-Objectivity, also known as the OOO. Now, I always want to say the OO, but I'm not sure whether they say that in-game or not. Together with pilot Lucia, you are sent to a planetoid belt of the Twin Planet system to search for the mysterious agent Cyanha. You'll have to use all your agility and strength to survive the harsh environment and wildlife on the planet being terraformed. Along the way, you'll have to fight like a real OOO agent. You'll learn to craft weapons, control vehicles and machinery, but more than that, you'll need all the help you can get, as there are other factions eager to unravel the long-forgotten secret of the OOO. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and consider subscribing for more PC VR and Oculus Meta Quest content. I cover games big and small, some you know, some you don't. I do comparisons as well, but I always give you honesty. If a game is bad, I will tell you so you can save your hard-earned money if you need to. If you want to support the channel in a more personal way, consider going to the Eyes on VR Patreon page. There's a link in the description. That's all I can show you, and that's all I can tell you right now about Hubris, but I am in contact with the devs, so I will keep you up to date with any developments on the game, as this one is one to watch without a doubt. It's like Lone Echo levels of production quality, and I can't wait to see what's next. And speaking of what's next, with that, my name is Rex, this is Eyes on VR, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next week! Or maybe sooner, who knows?
We lost all contact since you sent a message from one of the drones, so she may be wounded or even dead.